So this poem has a story. Does anybody in here have a mother? Raise your hands if you have a mother. 4 people have raised their hands. That's lovely. If you like her, raise your hand. I was raised by somebody who, regardless of really bad things that happened to me, made me believe that the world was actually a good and kind place and that I should work uprightly to be part of that structure. It's one of the reasons why, well, I don't eat other people or curse the day, except when I'm hungover. So she's at this moment sitting in a hospital room with things in her lungs, apparently, and no one seems to be able to give me a right answer. And the unfortunate thing is I've begun to realize that the more mature I become, the more fragile my parents appear and the more I want to look after them. Which kind of makes me wonder, what is the point of growing up in the first place? Because if you could always be a child and your parents wouldn't grow old and fall apart, then you would never have to suffer the loss of them. And that is really what adulthood is, when you're on your own and your past is the only thing in your head. There's no physical remembrance. There's no one to look at you and say, you are grand and have been grand since you spilled from me. And that's kind of a hard thing to take, because I don't really, like other people. Or the world. I mean, it's hard, and it's disaffected, and it's selfish. And I'm slow, so when I look at people and they tell me something, I actually believe what they're saying. And when their actions don't match up, I become confused. And like a child, I scream out loud, it is unfair. And there's only been ever one person who could explain to me why the world works the way it does and why you move against the current of the machine. What's the point of growing up if everyone you love grows old? I grow old so you can grow up. The mountain erodes to make way for the sea. But I'm a sea untethered, I am a man unwise. I spill out into the world like a child with a hammer, and I make everything different and difficult. I do not see the world in your eyes, and I do not understand them. They are cruel, and they are false, and they are weak. Mother, they are weak. They do not hold to the noble ideas that you enfrosted on me. Sometimes when I open doors for ladies and they say, thank you very much, I say, my mother has a website. You should comment, because her work is so beautiful, she must know. If there is anything good, if this voice draws you in, if this soul makes you yearn and cry, it is that lady lying in a hospital bed now. It is that hope burst upon the world. It is that wind. It is that nature. It is that land. I have no God and don't really believe in religion, because religion is kind of fractured. It's a handle that everybody holds on to, saying one day I will be closer to the light, while I bullshit myself. But I have held the light in my arms, and it has helped me. It has built kindness I cannot break. It has built hope that drags me on. And if there are any grand things in the world, they come for her, because when I spilled from that womb, you all were born. There was no history before that moment. There was only darkness and peace. And when I spilled into that world, you were all painted around her. That one pillar that makes it worth getting up in the morning, makes it worth having a point. And so I wrote this poem, which may be offensive. So here it goes. I had an old act to start it with. So the whole act was, I was going to say there may be more profanity than usual because my mother hates it, and there's nothing better than being scolded by a woman who has no control over you but your heart. Don't you fucking die on me. Don't you fucking die on me, because you've given me everything, and it's the only reason that I can still hold on to holding on. I need more time. I need more time. I need to build something that she can lord over other people. My son's a doctor, and he bought me a house. My son's a poet, and he speaks the truth. My son works in a school with children, and when he walks in the room, they smile. Give me time, because I know you're not the kind. You taught me the things that lie under the things that aren't solid, but the things that are real. But I want you to have the fake, because the world is fake, and I want them to know how grand you are. You made us, and you gave us the world, but it is not enough. You must know, must be raised up by strangers, must be stopped in the street and told that you are precious, for that is what you are. Long after the beauty that draws young stupid men, long after the foolishness that gives to the wisdom that says, I know the storm is coming, and it shall strip me bare, but I shall stand. Give me time, and I will give you something to be proud of.